Good morning and good afternoon. This is Juanita. I am the holistic health coach here at Beyond Limits Health. We are a functional medicine office here in Greenville, South Carolina, where people find lasting change and answers for their chronic health issues. We are a health transformation clinic, and today I will share with you the first of 3 secrets for health transformation. So today is secret number 1. But let me first tell you about some of our patients and some of the things they deal with, because I believe you will understand, because you'll feel it in your own heart. Just the other day we had a patient in here, and she was sharing with us her struggles with anxiety and depression, and how this is just ruining her life. She said, I just can't take it anymore. I'm trying the best I know how to take care of my family, to care for my kids, to be a loving wife to my husband, and I just can't take it anymore. I'm just miserable. We've got young people coming in here with old people diseases, and it doesn't make sense to them. They're like, why am I getting sick so young? They don't even have the energy. You know how young people are normally so excited about life, and they've got such a vision for change in the world, and they want to bring all this amazing stuff into the world. These young people today, the millennials that we're relating with, the millennials around you, I know sometimes they get a bad rap because people feel like, whatever their issues are with millennials. I personally love millennials. They have got such a vision for the future, and they're seeing some of the issues in our society, and they want to change it, but their health is so bad. It's affecting their minds, it's affecting their energy, and they feel old when they're young. We have millennials come into our office with old people's sicknesses, strange illnesses that should never be in a young person in their 20s or even in their late teens. It's so sad. And children even coming in that, well, they have ADHD is what they've been labeled with, or ADD, or sometimes I've even heard of kids that have cancer. And the one little kid that came in here, the poor little thing, has never slept still in their entire life. They've always moved all over the bed. They can't sleep still. Well, you know what that does to a body? That wears a body out early. We look around us right now, and the obesity issues today are just getting more and more of an issue. And you know what, folks? That's not because they're not exercising. It's not because your friends are eating the wrong foods, eating chips every day and drinking pop. It's not because they're not getting exercise. It's because of a deeper issue, and it's because of the secret I'm going to tell you today that's leading to this chronic illness. The stats, I was looking up the stats for cancer today. We are in a chronic case of cancer in our nation. Have you noticed, when I was a kid back in the 70s, that dates me, I'm almost 47, I'll tell you that secret. But back in the 70s, I hardly ever heard of people getting cancer. And if it was people my grandparents' age. Never kids, never young people. Well, today, we have tons and tons of cancer showing up in 20s and 30s, and even babies are having cancer, being born with cancer. What's happening to our world? Why are we in this situation? Why are we getting sicker and sicker? Why are the heart attack rates increasing? Why are so many of our men dying in their 50s from heart attacks? Or if they do survive it, it gets them in their 60s, and they have repeated strokes and heart attacks. Why? Why is it increasing? Why are the men so worn out with no energy? Barely, they make it through a day at work to provide for their families, and they come home too tired to play with their kids. They come in and tell us here at the office how they just wish they had the energy to keep up with their kids or with their grandkids. And they are so tired. They just want to have a life without pain and without fatigue. Why are their hormones screwed up? Why are the women's hormones so messed up? Women, I want to give you a handout. I want to let you know it's not in your head. You've been told often when you go to the doctors, you've been told, oh, it's just in your head. Take this pill and you're just a head case. I was told that. It's not a head case issue. We have got a chronic health issue here in the nation, And as I said in yesterday's video, our health system is broken. And today I'm going to tell you one secret to that riddle. We are such an advanced nation. We are so advanced in our science when it comes to health, when it comes to industry, it comes to so many technologies. We are so advanced, and yet we're one of the sickest nations in the world. Look up the stats. You'll see for yourself. We are not the healthiest nation in the world. Other nations have passed us up. Why is that? Why? Something is wrong. We're getting sicker and sicker as the years go on. People are just living their lives managing sickness and going from one medication to another, and each medication adds new side effects. My secret to tell you today is the answer to the one thing that you are doing on a daily basis, or that you've been doing for years, that is leading to more health issues and more health issues, and eventually is going to lead to a life of medication and surgeries and chronic pain. I've seen it. I've been watching it. I've been in the health field. Dr. Legree, who works alongside me, he's been seeing it for 20-some years. He's seen the increase. And I can promise you, this one thing is leading you down that road. What is that one thing? Well, we've been chasing symptoms. As a society, we have been chasing symptoms all our lives. We've been taught that if you have a fever, you need to squash the fever and get rid of it. And we don't find out why the fever is there. We don't correct the problem in the body. We don't rebuild the body. Instead, we just squash the fever, which is actually the body's way of killing the problem. The problem is an infection. The problem is a germ. The problem is something that body is fighting, but instead we squash that fever and we hurt the body. Or we give the body tons of antibiotics. If you go to the doctor today, typically they will give you a medication for the symptom. They don't look for the problem. They give you a medication for the symptom. And a lot of times it's antibiotics, heavy loads of antibiotics. I personally, as a kid, had round after round after round of antibiotics for ear infections. That was my issue. What do those antibiotics do? What do they do to your immune system, to your gut wall? They totally destroy the mucus lining in your gut wall, leading to things like Crohn's disease, diverticulitis, leaky gut, food allergies. All of those things are a weakened immune system, which means you can't fight the next sickness that comes along as well. And so that your ability to fight disease gets less and less as the years go on, as you keep treating the symptoms instead of dealing with the problem. It's kind of like out in the yard, you know, or actually in the flower garden. I love flower gardens. I love, working in the dirt and making plants grow and watching the flowers bloom. But if there's a dandelion growing in my flower bed, it's not where I want a dandelion. So if I pull off the dandelion flower, what's going to happen? That dandelion's going to keep growing, isn't it? And later on it's going to grow a new flower. If I pull the tops off the quack grass or the crabgrass and that's sneaking into my flower bed, is that going to stop the crabgrass from growing? No. It will come back again, and I'll have to pull it off again and pull it off again, and it's going to keep, because that crabgrass is so aggressive, it's going to keep spreading because I'm pulling the tops off of it. That's the way it works with weeds, and that's the way it works in our bodies. When we chase symptoms and simply pull the tops off the symptoms, simply put the fire out, so to speak, simply do away with the symptom without dealing with the problem, we only encourage the problem to get bigger, and we weaken our body's ability to fight the problem. So it's a double-edged sword. When we chase symptoms, we are actually leading to bigger and bigger health issues. I've seen women coming into the office here that have been given multiple drugs for hormone issues, birth control, all kinds of other drugs and overdoses of hormone drugs even, but it's particularly the birth control I want to talk right now. They've been given birth control for an erratic menstrual cycle without dealing with the issue. Why is the reason that cycle is off kilter? Why is it erratic? This is where my health coaching comes in. I walk with these women and walk through the anxiety that comes from the birth control And then the issues that they have when they have infertility issues because they've been on birth control for so long. The reason is that birth control is only dealing with a symptom. It's correcting a symptom, but it's not correcting the problem. It's not finding out why their hormones are imbalanced in the first place. Why can't they have a regular cycle? Why can't they have a period without horrendous cramps and without horrendous bleeding? There's a reason. But instead of finding the reason, we take a pill to take the symptom away, which only leads to bigger issues. And these women come in with hormones that are messed up, and they're setting ducks for cancer. In fact, some of them pop with cancer because their hormones are so out of whack from not dealing with the problem. Instead, they've been dealing with the symptom. So do you understand what I mean? The seriousness of dealing with symptoms. You can get away with it for a little while, but it builds and builds, and it tears down your body's ability to heal itself. And so it leads to bigger problems, and eventually you can't get away from it, and that crabgrass will take over your flower bed, and you will have a big mess on your hands that's going to take lots of money and lots of time to correct, if you're lucky and you catch it early enough and you're able to correct it. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to be another family statistic. There is a better way. And tomorrow I'm going to share with you the next secret, which is the better way. Instead of chasing symptoms, I'm going to tell you how to correct your health problems instead, so you can actually solve them and not just chase the symptoms for the rest of your life and run the gamut of family health issues that have been following you for centuries, literally for decades. You know, heart disease hitting one generation after another, hormone issues hitting one generation after another, Crohn's disease hitting one generation after another. I promise you, it's not a generational disease. You haven't inherited this disease from your family. What you've inherited is a mentality that allows that disease to come again and again and again. And I can say that with authority because I've walked out of a family line of diabetes, heart issues, hormone issues, reproductive issues, and even cancer. And I had all those things in my body, but they're not there anymore. I have the labs to prove it. So tomorrow I'm going to tell you the next secret. Sorry, my phone started ringing there. Tomorrow I'm going to teach you the next secret for how to have your own health transformation. Today, secret number 1 was there is one thing you're doing now that will lead to more health issues and a life of meds and pain and surgeries. And what is that one thing? It's chasing symptoms. Tomorrow, I will tell you the fastest, healthiest, and most comprehensive way to recover your health and maintain it is to discover the one simple approach that allows your body to heal itself. So join me tomorrow for the secret number 2.